First things first. Well, I have a question for you guys. What do you think the very first thing is that we're gonna do? Hmm. Oh, I saw that was a very quick hand. Tell me, what's the first thing you think we're gonna do?
Um, First we have to draw the shape of it.
Yeah, see, you guys are catching on. So we are going to draw that sort of the shape, the ghost, those ghost lines and stuff, our little guidelines to get the shape of our tiger just right, or as close as we can get it. I assure you that my tiger is not going to look exactly like this either, but it's all about practice. So, all right. You don't ever have to be exactly as the example. It doesn't have to be just perfect because all your art is unique and amazing just the way it is. All right, so I want to draw a circle for the head. So you want to figure out where her head is going to go, or it can be a boy, where his head is going to go. But I would say in the sort of top corner of your page, you're going to want to draw. And remember, I'm going to do this dark so that you guys can see, but you want to do it lightly so that you can always erase it later. So I'm going to draw my little circle, my ghost line circle. Don't do it too dark. Remember to do it lightly so you can always go back and erase it once we draw our actual lines. So right now we're just drawing in the shapes so that we can have a good idea of the proportions for our tiger. You guys got the circle? Not too hard, right? Layla's already ready. Okay, so once you have the circle, what we want to do next is this is going to be a little bit of the tricky part. Is so our tiger has this sort of long body. But what we're going to do is we're going to break up her body sort of into two sections. So each section is going to be almost another circle or oval if you want. This is going to be her shoulder and her chest, and then her back, and then her, I guess her little where her tail is also. So right here, and then we're going to connect them with two lines. So you'll see what I'm talking about in a moment. I know that sounded a little confusing, but you're going to want to make a bigger circle. Just like that. So this is her head, and this is where her shoulder and her chest are. And then you're going to make another circle that's a little bit smaller, but about the same size. All right, so next thing we want to do is we have to connect these circles because our tiger, has to have a back. So we're just going to draw a line that almost sort of dips down just a little bit, just like that for our tiger's back. You can make it go down even more if you want, but just like that. So once you've got that line for her back, then we can come around here and we can draw her belly. So we're just going to connect her belly like that with a curved line. Doing shapes like this with lines is always the best way to get your proportions right and help you, and help you have sort of a skeleton for making your drawings. And it always, it always helps me to draw something more accurately, especially when you practice it and do it over and over again. It really does help you sort of get good at looking at something and seeing what kind of shapes it has and stuff. What we're going to do is from the bottom of that circle, we're going to kind of draw a line like this that's sort of coming down. This is going to be the back of her leg. Here, I'll scoot that up just in case you guys can't see. So it sort of follows the curve of her circle and comes out like that. So now I'm seeing you girls look up. Let's go ahead and do the front of her leg. So the front of her leg is going to come down like this. So this is going to be, oh, my paper's flying away. This is going to be the front of her leg, and you want to leave a little bit of a space right here because this is her fluffy, furry tiger chest right here. So you want to sort of make her leg go into that circle and come down like that. We're going to draw her paw in a second. All right, so now that we have this part of her leg, we can go ahead to her paw. So now her paw is kind of leaned down because she's, lifting it off the ground. So, and it's bent. So we see a little bit of that line sort of come up into the leg. So there we go. All right. So next thing we want to do is we want to draw her other leg. So her other leg, we're going to start with the front, is sort of going to come down right from under this circle. All right. But her other leg is on the ground. So it's going to sort of curve up like this. All right. Can you girls see that okay? So that's going to be the front of her other leg. It kind of looks like a long J that's just sort of sticking out. Next thing we want to do is draw the back of her leg. So we're going to go through, and right underneath her belly, we're going to start the rest of her leg. It almost lines up with that circle, the other part of your guide circle. So it's going to come under like that. And then we are going to draw her paw in a second. But that is going to be the back of her other leg. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go in and draw her little tiger paw. So since this one is on the ground, it's just sort of sitting here like this. I don't know if you guys can see that. It kind of just looks like a boot now, but that is okay. That's going to be our little tiger paw because she's got one paw up in the air and one paw on the ground because she's walking. Is starting from where we drew our other guide circle right here. Her leg is sort of going to curve from that and go down. So her back leg is going to start here like this and come down like this. And again, this foot is on the ground, so it's got sort of that curve to it. So it sort of looks like that J again. So now we've got this front part of our leg. I see some thumbs. All right, we're doing good so far. Yay, perfect. All right, so next thing we want to do is draw the back of her leg. So the back of her leg is going to also start with that guide circle. It's going to sort of come down like this, and she's got, so the back leg, she's got a little bit of this, I don't want to call it an elbow, but it kind of looks like an elbow. I don't know what that back joint is called, but once you've got that, girls look like you're just about ready. Yay, I see a thumbs up. All right, definitely give me a thumbs up when you are ready to keep going. Yay, thumbs up, thumbs ups. All right, perfect. So next thing we're gonna do is again, draw her foot. We're just gonna finish off this foot because it is also on the ground, just like this. So you know what, actually, it's always a good thing to sort of draw what's in front first. That's why we worked on the front legs first before we did the back legs. So I actually think we should go ahead and do the tail because it might make it easier for you guys to do her last leg. So I think we'll go ahead and do that. That front leg right here. is where we're going to start that tail. And you can make her tail sort of swing however it wants. If you want to make her tail like curl up or something, you can, but I'm just going to draw her tail sort of
Can you make it a little darker?
Yeah, I'll make it a little darker. There we go, just like this. So this is going to be the bottom of her tail. It's just sort of hanging there. So now what I want to do is from the back, we're going to come down and we are going to draw the rest of her tail, the top part. So that's going to come down and she's got this little round part that connects it at the end. So there is her little tail, just kind of round at the end like that. Boop. We're going to draw the rest of her other leg. So it's kind of coming behind her tail a little bit. So I'm going to start out with this part of her leg, sort of bent back behind her other leg. And it's got a pretty good bent in it like that. So it's starting to look like that really long J shape again. And draw the back part. So you can't see the rest of her leg because my tail is covering it, but there's a little part of her leg that comes out from behind her tail. So I'm just going to draw that here like this. So you can sort of see that. So once we've got that little line, we can go ahead and draw her very last paw on the ground. Just like that. And now it looks like she has all 4 boots on. One triangular sort of ear coming out from our circle.
Like a cat.
Like a cat, like this. Yes, because a tiger is just a big old cat. She's just a big old kitty. All right, just like that. We've got these lines inside her ears where her ears are orange. So what I'm going to do is just draw a line that connects to the tip of her ear, just like that. So we can draw that outside part of her ear. I don't know if you can see that, but I just erased inside there, just like that. All right, so we're about to start working on our little tiger's face. Beautiful. I love it. Good job, Layla. You are keeping up so well, and that looks so lovely. Awesome, awesome. So we're finally getting a tiger. She kind of looks like just a big cat right now, but a tiger is just a big cat, so that's okay. For our little tiger's face, what we want to do is she's got her mouth right here, and it sort of comes up, and that's where her face is going to be orange. So what I want to do is finish off.
She looks like a cat.
She does look like a cat, but she will look like a tiger very soon. So what we want to do is sort of give her her fluffy, furry face. So you can give her sort of some fluff on the side of her face and on her chin as well. So I'm just drawing sort of a squiggly line to sort of show that she's fluffy around her face. And then you can come over here on the other side and do that as well. Make it look like she's got this furry sort of face. You can erase any lines on the inside that you don't need. So we've got her little nose. She's definitely looking like a cat so far. That is okay. All right. If you wanted to make her nose wider, you can. All right, so from her nose, we can now draw her, where her mouth starts. So coming out the bottom of her nose, we can sort of draw up and around. So this is going to be the orange part of her face. I know this looks funny, but I promise once we color it and everything, it won't look so funny. So they're going to be shaped like footballs, just like this. She's got teeny eyes, little teeny eyes. And then you can draw the little diamond-shaped pupil on the inside of her eyes. She kind of looks angry. I don't know why my tiger looks angry. Maybe I should erase this part of the line so she doesn't look so angry. But there's one eye, if you can see that. So now our tiger's got eyes, as you can see. Now we can finally start to move on to her stripes. So she starts looking like a real tiger. So this is where all that sort of detail comes in, and that's really going to help her look like an actual tiger. So tigers always have these sort of stripes going down the middle of their faces. So I'm just sort of very fast, very quickly, just sort of adding some stripes on her face. And they don't have to be perfect, perfectly straight or anything. They're just sort of going across her forehead like this. All inside this part of her face. So her sort of snout and all of this is going to be orange. And you want to make sure that you color that top part of her ears orange as well. All right, just like that. So you want to leave the rest of her face more of that white color because the tigers got that white fur on the sides of their face. And then because her belly is on the underside and that is where her fur is all white and not orange. Again, you guys can color your tiger whatever color you want. If you don't want it to be an orange tiger, she does not have to be an orange tiger. I'm just using orange as my example. So here, this back leg is going to also be mostly white. As you can see, we're going to do the same thing on this leg. There's just a little bit of that orange color right at the front. Her legs are mostly going to be white. Beautiful. Thank you, girls. You girls did so amazing. I think next week, maybe we can go back. Thank you. Maybe I'll have to figure out a different character for us to do. But we'll just have to see. It'll be a little bit of a surprise. But how was this today? Was this good? Was this good? Did you girls enjoy? I hope you girls enjoyed this because I know this was a little bit different than what we were doing. All right, good. I'm glad. Layla, did you enjoy doing the tiger? I hope you did because it looks really good. Yeah, I'm glad. All right. Thank you so much, girls.
We'll see. We'll see you. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Bye, girls. Thank you. Bye.